What's up, everybody? I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. I'm Anthony. On today's video, we are going to go back to the basics, something that I think everybody can at least get something from this video. It's going to be 5 things that you absolutely need to keep in your vehicle at all times, so stay tuned. Okay, so first things first, before I get started, for all intents and purposes, I'm going to assume that your vehicle still has the factory spare tire tools, jack, and spare tire installed on the vehicle. So I'm not going to cover that in this list, all right? This is just assuming that you already have that stuff and it's in good working order, meaning your spare tire is filled with air like it's supposed to, right? Okay, let's go ahead and get started with the list. All right, so first and foremost should come as absolutely no surprise, but it's going to be a good quality set of jumper cables, okay? A lot of people do not keep jumper cables in their car anymore. I don't know why, but it's like they don't think that modern batteries fail, which they do often, okay? In the southeast where I live, I see batteries go about once every 3 to 4 years, all right? These batteries don't last a long time anymore, and they cost like 200 bucks. So you would imagine they would last longer than they used to, but they don't, all right? There's a lot of modern electronics in these vehicles, and a lot of starting and stopping, because we live in cities. So it just takes its toll on the batteries, not to mention the temperatures, all right? Most of the time when I see batteries fail, because again, I'm a master tech for those of you who don't know, most of the time when I see batteries fail, it always seems to happen right at the beginning of summer, that first really hot day, okay? Yeah, here in the south it doesn't get too cold, so you're not really worried about the cold weather killing batteries. It's more or less the hot weather that kills batteries. And usually what happens is you have about one good start left in that battery, and that's when you first get in the vehicle for the day, all right? You get in the vehicle, you start it up, congratulations, you can start and you go places, all right? That first stop you make, whether it be the gas station, convenience store, grocery store, whatever, all of a sudden you go back to get in that vehicle, start it up, and click, the battery is toast, all right? So you have to get a jump off. And no one likes that person who's wandering around a parking lot saying, hey, do you have battery cables or jumper cables? Hey, do you have jumper cables? Because people aren't really going to help you if you do that. But if you have your own set of jumper cables and you already have your hood popped and they're connected, you're going to get a much better reaction from people saying, hey, can I get a jump real quick? Because all they got to do is just drive their car around and you hook up the cables and start your own vehicle. So since you did most of the legwork yourself, they're more willing to help you. That's why you always need to keep a good set of jumper cables in your car at all times. Okay, so number 2 on this list is going to be something that a lot of people don't really consider, but you really should, and it's going to be a change of clothes. Now, this is a grunt roll. This is something we make in the military, so it's a quick change of clothes. This is just basically gym shorts, a new shirt, and socks all wrapped up in a convenient way. But a change of clothes can absolutely save your butt, literally. It's one of those things where if you have wet clothes, you don't want to be driving around in wet clothes. If you have dirty clothes, or if you're like me when you're grocery shopping with your kid about a year ago and your kid dropped something on the ground and you go to pick it up and your pants split about 9 inches right in the crotch area. So since most grocery stores, and the one I was going to is about an hour away from home, I either had to drive an hour back to change clothes or potentially risk indecent exposure by walking around a grocery store with a whole bunch of older women who might call the cops on me for some sort of lewd act when I'm not trying to be, I just got to rip in my pants. So by having a change of clothes in my vehicle, all I had to do was have that uncomfortable 1-minute clothes change, and I could go in and finish what I needed to do. So by having a change of clothes in your vehicle, it absolutely helps you if you happen to run into situations like that. Number 3 on this list is going to be a seatbelt strap cutter. All right, I've done a video on this. I'll make sure I put it up here and down below in the description so you can go check it out yourself. But the main reason why you're going to want to have this is if you get into an accident or something happens and your seatbelt locks up. For those of you who don't know, when you get in an accident, there's like a little shotgun shell charge in your seatbelt that retracts it as much as possible to keep you from, hitting the dashboard. So when that happens, your seatbelt locks really tight, and if you don't have a cutting ability, then you might be stuck for a long length of time. And it's one of those things where you might be stuck in a dangerous situation, or you have to render aid to somebody else. Since I usually have my kid with me, I don't want to be incapacitated because I'm being held by a seatbelt. So I want to be able to have a strap cutter readily, handily available. Mine's up on my sun visor. That way I can cut my strap and go tend to whatever I need to. So that's why I have this here. I know a lot of y'all keep knives on you. I keep a knife on me, but it's always in my back pocket. And the last thing I'm going to want to do is to try to reach down in my back pocket if the seatbelt's as tight as it can go. It's just not a fun game. So by having this on my sun visor, I'm making sure I nip that problem in the bud now. Consider getting one of these yourself. That brings me to number 4, and that's going to be a tow strap. Now listen to me real carefully. You don't just have to have a truck or SUV to be able to take advantage of a tow strap, all right? Having this in your car is just like having jumper cables. It's going to be one of those things where you need to brake in case of emergency, get this out in case of emergency, and that one time you need it will absolutely pay for itself. So let me explain. I live in the southeast. There's a lot of dirt roads here. I know there's a lot of dirt roads all over the country, but this is one of those climates where we can get rainstorms fairly quickly, all right? They just pop up out of nowhere, dump a whole bunch of rain in about 30 minutes to an hour, and roads that were once passable are now no longer passable, all right? That happens a lot during hunting season, especially in the springtime if I'm going turkey hunting. So you might be going on public land and have extremely not really well-maintained dirt roads in the first place, and if you get one hardcore crazy storm like that, then it's going to turn those already mediocre roads bad, all right? So by having a tow strap, you're able to get yourself or your hunting buddy out from being stuck if you happen to get stuck. 'Cause nobody wants to try to explain to a tow truck driver on the phone, if you even have service to begin with, no one wants to try to explain where you are located, okay? So by having a tow strap, you have the ability to either get yourself out or have a buddy get you out, no problem. It's just the same principle as having the jumper cables. By having your own tow rope, you can hook it up yourself if you are stuck, and then just be kind of standing there waiting for somebody to pass by, flag them down, hey, can you help me? People are going to be much more willing to help you if you do all the hard work for them. So all they got to do is just stay in their vehicle, you hook it up to their bumper or a hitch or wherever on their subframe, and basically let them pull you out, all right? It doesn't take very much to get stuck here. I have a four-wheel drive, so I don't get stuck very often. Usually I'm the one doing the pulling, but you never know. So by having this in your vehicle, you can help somebody out, because remember, this is still America. We still need to be friendly to other people and give somebody a helping hand if they need it. So by having this in your vehicle, you're ensuring that. That brings me to number 5. It's going to be something so simple, so obvious, but for some reason no one does this anymore, but it's having a roll of quarters in your center console in the vehicle somewhere at all times. Let me explain why this is so important. We are in a most likely cashless society already, even though it's not dubbed cashless. A lot of people only carry cards for some reason. They rarely have cash, and there's so many instances where they need to have cash or change on them that it hurts them by not doing so. So there's been times where I've been driving and all of a sudden my tire light comes on, or you pick up a nail and it's a very slow leak, but you got to put that air in that tire so you can get to the tire shop or get home. Well, you're going to do that with no change? Of course not. Well, you need to stop at a gas station, and congratulations, you can get you some air with a roll of quarters. Same principle when you happen to be going downtown or you're going somewhere in a city that requires parallel parking or a meter. I can't tell you how many times I pulled up somewhere that I didn't realize there was meters and I didn't have change on me. This is obviously my younger days. And I didn't have change on me, so I had to park potentially 5, 6, 7 blocks away and then walk all the way because I didn't think enough in advance to carry some change for those meters. So if you have a roll of quarters, congratulations. You at least have change for that meter when you need it. And not to mention, the best part is if you need to, use money, you have instant $10 in a roll of quarters. I know I don't have quite $10 worth anymore because I've actually used these, because yes, I use what I mentioned on this channel. So yeah, I used this before. I can't remember what it was for. I think it might have been for air. But yeah, having a roll of quarters is an instant $10 that you can use to get out of Dodge if you need to, or get in somewhere you need to, or if you happen to be driving on a toll road and not even realize it. Oh crap, there's a toll here. I don't have any cash. Well, I at least got $10 in my center console. That's the way you need to think. That's why you need to have it in your car, and that's why this makes this list. All right, so that's my list of 5 things that you need to have in your vehicle at all times. But as a bonus, because I like to throw bonuses every once in a while, I'm going to go ahead and put a bonus number 6 in here, and that is going to be rain gear of some sort. All right, this is just a regular Cabela's rain jacket that I bought for like $20 on clearance. I keep this in my vehicle because there's so many times where you might be going somewhere, especially when it's like kind of cold outside, where you have to walk and it's raining. All right, you don't have an umbrella on you, and it's one of those things where you don't mind getting wet. I don't really care about if I get wet, but if it's colder, the last thing I want to do is to be like soaking wet and cold. And especially since I have a kid now, it's nice to be able to just kind of wrap her in this if I need to get in somewhere or get out of somewhere, so I don't have to worry about getting completely drenched and potentially getting sick because it's cold and rainy. So by having just a rain jacket in your car, especially if something bad happens, like you blow a tire and it's raining, because you never blow a tire when it's convenient. It's always during like an instance where you don't want it to happen, like during rain, which I have done before, by the way. Then you can put this on, not have to worry about getting completely soaked while you change that tire. So number 6, rain gear. Just go ahead and do it. Okay, so there you have, that is my list of 5, actually 6 things that you need to make sure you keep in your vehicle at all times. If there is something that I did not mention on this list that you think is absolutely needing to be in one of this top 5, please go ahead and put it down below in the comments. I'd love to read it. There's like 10 other things that I did not mention in this video, but they don't apply to absolutely everybody. I try to think of things that could be completely applicable to all instances. That's why I wanted to put those in this video. So if you have something else that I didn't consider, go ahead and drop it below in the comments. I'd love to read it, and I'm sure other people would love to read it. But if this video helped you at all, please do me a humongous favor and give this video a thumbs up. I'd very much appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you are not, and I will catch y'all on the next one. All right, bye.